Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here tonight to recap Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 9, Episode 18, which was titled Baby-nups and Breakups. So everybody is back in Atlanta, and it's time for Cynthia's Atlanta edition of the Cargo Lunch fashion show. And Cynthia is working with Noelle, on her modeling skills. And Noelle, she has a little attitude on her. The way she talks to Cynthia is sort of like she thinks she's an adult. So Cynthia may want to check that. So Sheree comes in with Kairo, and Noelle says that she's never met Kairo before. And I'm like, how can this be season 9 and these kids have never met before? She says she's met Sheree's daughter, but she's never met Kairo. So I thought that was kind of strange. So Kairo, he isn't as good of a walker as he is with the still photo shots, but Cynthia's willing to work with him. And Sheree, once again, wants to know if he's going to be compensated. And Cynthia reminds her that he was going to get a free cargo bag. But then the guy that was with Cynthia said that not everybody was going to get a cargo bag. So I don't know if Kairo got anything out of the deal. So Noelle and Kairo exchange numbers, but Cynthia says that they need to keep it strictly business. So Porsha calls Phaedra to let her know that she has drawn up a baby-nup, which I guess would be the version of a prenup, except for having a baby, like if we have this baby and things don't work out. And so she needs for Phaedra to review it, but Phaedra's having a hard time taking Porsha serious, and pretty much tells Porsha she needs to go have several seats and stop trying to have a baby with a man that she don't even know if she wants to marry, because the last thing the world needs is another baby mama. But Porsha, she wants to move forward, and so she's telling Phaedra she needs her to look over the document and make sure that it'll be legally binding. Then all of a sudden Phaedra has something to do, and then she hangs up on Porsha. But Porsha says she's going to go forward and make this thing happen. And so Todd, her and Todd are on good terms, but, if things don't work out, she wants to have, wants to be protected, and for them to have already hashed out all the details of how they're going to handle, the baby and co-parenting with the child. So Kenya meets with her cousin. I think her name is Shay or Shane. She's Aunt Laura. Is it Laura? Aunt Lori's daughter. And so she says that she couldn't wait to get back from Maui because she was tired of being blamed for everything, that, whatever goes wrong in the group is always Kenya's fault. And it's usually because, Kenya, you have your hand in it some kind of way trying to manipulate what's going on. Then she turns around and tells Shays about the divorce party and that Phaedra blamed her for the breakup of her marriage, which was not true. Phaedra did not blame you for the breakup of the marriage, Kenya. She just said that you played a negative role in her marriage, so you were the last person that she wanted to throw her a divorce party. But you could tell that the cousin is just like, she don't even want to hear about it, so she changes the subject to Matt. And so, Kenya starts with the wine and cheese again, how she loves Matt, but it just isn't working out, and maybe they need to go their own separate ways. But then she turns around and says that she wants her and Matt to have the same type of relationship that Cynthia and Peter have. And I'm thinking, Cynthia and Peter were married, and they were together for numerous years, and you can't even begin to compare your relationship with Matt to the relationship that Cynthia and Peter had. So please don't try to go there, girl. And then she ends the conversation by letting the cousin know that she's having a birthday party for them damn dogs, and that she wants to invite Matt. And I'm just like, girl, okay, I'm sorry. I forgot. Kenya needs a storyline, and this is the best she can do. So Candy and Baby Ace go to see the old lady gang. I'm not sure whose house they were at. It might have been Aunt Nora's house. But anyway, she can't wait to fill them in on the trip to Hawaii and everything that went down. And so it was either Aunt Nora or Aunt Bertha, probably was Aunt Bertha, that called the other women hoes and telling Candy, she couldn't trust them hoes. And I'm just like, really, old lady? So Mama Joyce wants to know, about Phaedra's divorce. And I just don't know why she is so fascinated about whether or not Phaedra and Apollo are divorced or what's going on in their marriage. But she is just asphyxiated compensated on that. So Candy tells them that Porsha says that the divorce is final, but Apollo hasn't said anything to Todd about it. So I guess Mama Joyce is like, well, if Todd ain't heard nothing about it, then Porsha and Phaedra are probably lying about the divorce. When Todd finally arrives, they begin to talk business, about the OLG restaurant and when it's going to open. And so it looks like the restaurant isn't quite ready yet, but they're getting there. But Candy says that she can invite family and friends in and serve them. And so they're playing like a little soft opening for the restaurant to kind of like, start a buzz and get people to talking about it, and then they can resolve the issues with the permits and whatever else that needs to get done. Phaedra shows up at the lake house, to talk to Cynthia, and Phaedra had on she had on some low-ride jeans, which probably wasn't a good look, and then she has this bodysuit on, and it's kind of sheer, and it was high cut up to the waist, so all her hips and behind was out, and I think the back of it was sheer, and I was just like, really, Phaedra? Like, that doesn't look cute, first of all, and it definitely didn't look cute for somebody that's supposed to be a professional and an attorney. So I don't know what maybe she's trying to get a groove back now that her and Apollo are supposed to be broken up or something. She's trying to catch a man. I don't know what was going on, but Phaedra, don't wear that again. Cynthia asks about the divorce and, lets Phaedra know that Porsha told them that it was final. So you can tell that Phaedra was feeling some kind of way after getting that information. And she starts to say that Porsha is lying, but then she turns around and admits that the divorce is final. So Cynthia says that she understands how Phaedra felt about the party, but, she thought that she should have just went ahead along with the flow and enjoyed what Kenya had put together. And she's steadily trying to defend Kenya, saying that Kenya didn't mean any harm and that, Phaedra shouldn't have been offended. And so she wants the two of them to get together and resolve the issue about the party and any feelings that Phaedra is holding on to as far as what happened between Kenya and Apollo when they were still married. And Phaedra is still talking about the restoration service, and then Cynthia said something about a baptism, and then Phaedra was like, yeah, the ladies could get dipped in the water, and Cynthia's like, I was just joking about that, but Phaedra's like, let me call up Tasha Cobbs and William Murphy and let them know we're going to add a baptism part to the restoration service. And I'm wondering, are they actually going to have a restoration service by the end of the season? Or was what happened in Maui just going to be like pretty much the end of it? Porsha invites Todd over to show him the Baby-nup, even though Phaedra hasn't seen it yet and probably won't come and look at it because she thinks it's really stupid. And so, I'm thinking Porsha is like 2 clicks from crazy if she thinks that anybody is going to take this Baby-nup seriously. And so Porsha pretty much tells Todd that there will be no coochie given out. The coochie's on lockdown until he signs this document. So Todd tells Porsha that her Baby-nup is pretty much extortion, and that of the 40 plus things that she had on there, 39 of them benefit her and not him. And he was like reading some of the questions or some of the things that he was supposed to agree to, and she had things on there that he had to do a full disclosure of his financials, which I could kind of agree, because you really shouldn't be trying to have a baby with somebody if you don't know if they can support the child. And then she was like, he had to agree that she can promote the baby or use the baby's image in any type of social media or media. And it was just like all kind of crazy. And it's just things that people probably should talk about before they even decide to have sex with a person, let alone have a baby with them, but definitely not something that I would sit there and sign an agreement to and say that I agree to these things in the event that we have a baby together and things don't work out, because your mind and your opinion could totally change by the time that child gets there. And so Todd finally, gets serious. We don't see him get serious too often, but he was serious in this moment. And he asked Porsha if she thinks he's like Boo-Boo the Fool, that he was going to sign that document. And he says that he's not signing, and if it means that their relationship is over, then he'll just take an L for the team. And it will just be a sad moment in their relationship that they couldn't come together and have a normal relationship. And, that it didn't have to come to him having to sign this agreement. It's time for the fashion show, and we have a little scene of Noelle, and she's trying to parallel park, and I guess she's a typical first-time driver or new driver, because I've been driving for a really long time, and I still have trouble parallel parking, so y'all lay off of Noelle. And so they're at the venue for the fashion show, getting ready to get set up, and then 1 hour before the show, all the models are there except for Kairo. So Cynthia calls Sheree, the momager, and Sheree is like unbothered and unconcerned and like, okay, well, it must be the traffic because he left a while ago and he should be there by now. And then somebody pointed out on Twitter that they got the editing messed up because they showed the scene of Kairo standing behind Cynthia when Cynthia was going to call Sheree to ask where Kairo was. So I didn't catch that, but maybe when I watch the show over again, I'll look for it. So the location is a little unique, and when Sheree arrives, she throws shade and asks Cynthia, you know, if they are underground because she can hear the sewage running above head. And the building, it looked like a warehouse, but it had like a lot of graffiti on the walls, and I don't know what was going on. I thought for what she was doing for the fashion show and, you know, the cargo line that it was a good fit. And so she also let Cynthia know that Phaedra and Porsha won't be coming. And Cynthia's partner, and I can't remember his name, Kai or Terrence. I don't know why I can never remember these people's names. But anyway, he goes over to Sheree and he's talking about, you know, Kairo being late, but Sheree was really dismissive and was like, boy, if you don't get the hell out of my damn face, y'all ain't even paying my son to be in this damn fashion show. So Kenya, you know, she comes in and she's being shady also about the location. But when Candy came in, Candy said that she really liked it and she liked the feel and the flow of it. So Kenya obviously liked Kairo more than she liked the building, because when the fashion show was going on and Kairo walked through, they put the camera on Kenya and she was licking her lips at the little young boy. And I'm thinking, okay, Sheree will cut you, Kenya. You trying to mess with her son. So afterwards, Candy asked Kenya if Phaedra had reached out to her to apologize about the whole Maui incident with the divorce party. And I was just really wondering why Candy thought that Phaedra would call Kenya and apologize. That was, I mean, did they just not have anything else to talk about? So she thought she would throw that in just for some camera time, because that's the only reason I could come up with why she thought Phaedra was going to call Kenya and apologize. So Phaedra organizes a meeting with Johnny and an attorney named Oscar. I didn't catch his last name. And so they're there to discuss his case against Candy. And although Phaedra says that she's staying out of it and she wants no part of it and she's not an employment attorney, so she can't help Johnny, she had the meeting at her office and she was sitting in there taking notes along with the lawyer. So seems like you're pretty much involved in it to me, Miss Phaedra. Some of the things that Johnny told the attorney was that in March 2015, he wanted to meet with Candy about alternate things that, you know, he may be able to do outside of helping her with her business, and that he suggested the restaurant. And he said that he gave Candy a proposal and they talked about it, and she said she was interested and that they had a verbal agreement. But then the next thing he knew, she and Todd were opening up the Old Lady Gang, and I guess the Old Lady Gang restaurant is basically his idea. And then he also pointed out that Candy did the same thing with that play, A Mother's Love, that he was the one that came up with that concept and that Candy stole the concept. So the lawyer told him that he's going to review, you know, his notes and what they talked about, and he thinks that that Johnny has a strong case against Candy, but he will let him know. And then Johnny says, well, you know, I'm looking forward to working with you. But then the lawyer was like, okay, well, I'll get back with you if you have a case. But Johnny is determined that he has a case. And then Phaedra walks the lawyer out and pretty much asks him, you know, what does he think? And the guy says that, you know, he's going to look into some things, but he thinks that they may be able to move forward. And then once again, Phaedra reminds us that she is staying out of it. She ain't got nothing to do with it, even though she's has a lot to do with it. So Kenya and those damn dogs, you know, she shows up at some high-end doggy store, and I was so confused because the salesperson came in and she was wearing like this Fredericks of Hollywood hooker dress, you know, the body-fitting lycra black dress that stops at the knees with the big keyhole opening right there. And I'm thinking, okay, you working in a store selling dog clothes. Why are you dressed like this with, 6-inch heel pumps on? I didn't get that. But anyway, Kenya invited Matt. So Matt shows up, and these two, I don't know. I'm just like, when this season is over with, do we have to see Matt anymore? Because I'm kind of done with Kenya and the storyline. And so, they first started out trying to have a civil conversation. And then Matt, for some reason, asked Kenya, why can't she ever admit her part of what happened between them? Like, why does she keep trying to act like she's innocent in all of this and that she doesn't push his buttons? So then Kenya walks out, and of course, once she walks out, Matt follows her. So they end up like in this hallway, and they're arguing, and Kenya's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you being loud? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Once again, orchestrating and manipulating the situation. So then they end up sitting down on some stairs, and they're talking. And then I'm starting to think, maybe Kenya and Matt belong together, and then it could just be, who kills who first, and then we don't have to deal with either one of them. And so Matt, he's pretty much along those lines, because he tells Kenya that he'll be in jail and lonely, and that Kenya will be single and miserable like she was when he first met her. And then of course, Kenya's like, I have options. I have men that are looking for me, and I'm not going to be miserable. And then Matt was like, okay, so where those men at that you seem to have all these options for? Because it was just the other day when we had sex in the back of my truck. And I'm just like, y'all are two fools. Y'all are so stupid. And I will be so glad when this is over with. And I'm telling you guys, if Nene and Kim come back, I hope this means that Kenya is getting off this show, because I have just had it with her. I'm so done with her. And I know her little fans get upset, and feel that, I'm down on Kenya. But I don't like Kenya. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like her. And she has no storyline, and she's just wasted. Well, I mean, none of them really have a storyline, to be honest. So, maybe, I don't know. Maybe Nene and Kim will bring some zest back to the show if they agree to come back next year. So anyway, that's it for me. Wasn't much going on this episode. So you guys, leave your comments below, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful week. Take care. Bye-bye.